Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Craig Burrell, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Warrant Officer Class 1, Joanne Davey. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Return and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you are able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem. Please sit if you can do so. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the hearts of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private Jack Frederick Bassett. Fred Bassett was born in Bendigo in 1894 to Samuel and Margaret Bassett. He grew up in the nearby town of Sebastian and attended Sebastian State School. After leaving school, he went to work as a packer. Following the outbreak of the First World War, Bassett enlisted in Melbourne on the 26th of April 1915, soon after his 21st birthday. He spent the following month in training before he was allotted to the 7th Reinforcements to the 5th Battalion at the end of May. Bassett embarked from Melbourne with other reinforcements on the 16th of July aboard the transport ship Demosthenes, bound for Egypt. Further training followed in the Egyptian desert before he was sent on to Lemnos. He arrived on Lemnos at the beginning of November 1915 to find his unit, the 5th Battalion, at Sarpi Rest Camp, taking a short leave from Gallipoli. Bassett and the other members of the 7th Reinforcements joined their comrades and spent the next week in training. On the 11th of November, the battalion was inspected by Field Marshal Lord Kitchener, who was conducting an inspection of the Gallipoli battlefields and the main staging area of Lemnos. The 5th Battalion sailed for Gallipoli on the 14th of November, but the rough weather stopped the men from landing. However, on the 17th of November, a break in conditions allowed the unit to be sent ashore. Bassett was soon in the front line, as the 5th Battalion was sent to man positions on the southern flank. The weather continued to deteriorate and more men were being evacuated due to the cold than from enemy action. By the end of the month, the battalion was taking part in silent stunts. Following Lord Kitchener's visit, recommendations had been made to evacuate the Gallipoli Peninsula and bring the campaign to an end. These periods of silence were instituted to get the Ottoman forces used to long periods of silence from the Anzac positions. On the 8th of December, the 5th Battalion embarked for Lemnos, leaving Gallipoli for the last time. The same day, Bassett reported to the 2nd Brigade Field Ambulance suffering from pneumonia. On arriving at Lemnos on the 12th of December, he was admitted to the 24th Casualty Clearing Station at Madras. But Bassett's illness was too far advanced and he died the same day. He was laid to rest in the East Madras Military Cemetery. He was 21 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right amongst almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. A photograph of his headstone is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Jack Frederick Bassett, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old as we the left grow old. Age shall not weary them nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them.
We'll remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub of Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director, staff and volunteers, we thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.